Tonight on Cosmic Cantina, sure, we get it, disclosure's coming, but who's really controlling that whole narrative? The government, the military, some clandestine group of old rich white men? Or, hear me out here, could it be the aliens themselves? Dun dun dun! We jump from Israeli scientists to French scientists to American doctors to try and wrap our heads around this crazy theory. So secure your implants, because we're coming at you. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and every week I go to my favorite bar, Cosmic Cantina, and kick back with my co-hosts, Josh Golombeski and Matt O'Connor. We talk about aliens, Bigfoot, ghosts, ancient cultures, and anything from the unseen world that needs a little illumination. Welcome to Cosmic Cantina. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and tonight I'm drinking a kombucha because I had a little too much to drink last night, and I'm feeling a little rough.
Yeah.
Nice.
A little healing kombucha.
Yeah, a little kombucha on the heel. Matt?
Look, I went pretty stock standard this week, and I just stepped up to a little Stella Artois. It's
Stella Artois.
just a little palate cleanser. Nothing too exciting. Nothing to report back. It's solid. Josh, what do you got?
I'm finishing off random red wine in my house, but I'm dating someone new, guys.
Ooh, does your
Ghostfish is
wife
jealous.
know? Does your wife know?
No, it's my beer. She lets. We have an open relationship when it comes to beer. So I'm drinking Holidaily Brewing Company from Golden, Colorado.
Ooh.
Their red ale, which is gluten-free and not bad, actually. It's competing for number one in my heart.
Oh, does
shit.
she listen to you when you talk and you feel like, she really cares about you?
No, she bosses me around and makes me really work hard for sex.
Oh, a lot of men like that.
But when it happens, she's comforting, she's attentive, and all the right things. All right,
let's get
ready.
to our podcast. Enough of this. All right. So we're gonna talk about disclosure, because everybody talks about disclosure, and we've talked about disclosure many times. But we're gonna take a little different angle. We're just gonna look at it from a different view. So I have an article, of course. Former head of Israel's space program. The aliens asked not to be revealed. Humanity is not yet ready. Mm-hmm. That's right. The aliens are the ones holding back the information, not the government. Okay.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
We've been wrong! All right. Professor Haim Assad. Did I say it right?
Chaim? Yeah.
Close enough for me.
Haim Assad served from 1981 to 2010 as the head of Israel's Security Space Program, and over the years received the Israeli Security Award 3 times, twice for confidential technological inventions. And they quote him, he was in an interview, and this article quotes what he says in this interview about UFOs. So I'm going to read it to you. The UFOs have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not yet ready. Trump was on the verge of revealing, but the aliens in the Galactic Federation are saying, wait, let people calm down first. They don't want to start mass hysteria. They want to first make us sane and understand.
Okay. I have some thoughts.
So wait, that's not related to COVID, though. They're saying just we're not ready for aliens, not that it's a crazy time right now and they shouldn't be revealed.
I mean,
Is that what I'm getting?
I get it.
Like,
humanity's
hey,
not ready for anything right now, to be
The
honest.
Galactic Federation was like, Johnny, do you really think this is a great idea? I mean, they're already freaking out about being in their homes over COVID, and now we're going to, do the alien thing. Maybe this isn't a good time.
Yeah, they got murder hornets. Let's just give them a break for a little bit.
Let's give them a break. How about 2021? All right.
Yeah. 2020 is just it's not a good time, guys.
It's not a good
time.
Bad timing. Okay.
Yeah.
And the article continues. They have been waiting for humanity to evolve and reach a stage where we will generally understand what space and spaceships are. There's an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. They, too, are researching and trying to understand the whole fabric of the universe, and they want us as helpers. There's an underground base in the depths of Mars where their representatives are, and also our American astronauts. If I had come up with what I'm saying today 5 years ago, I would have been hospitalized. Wherever I've gone with this in academia, they've said the man has lost his mind. Today, they've already They're already talking differently. I have nothing to lose. I've received my degrees, my awards. I'm respected in the universities abroad. This is a trend where the trend is also changing.
Okay.
So, interesting. I mean, it sounds like a lot of the stuff that we cover on Gaia of people talking about the secret space program.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't know. So I guess aliens, I mean, this article is interesting. Aliens are saying we don't want to be revealed. So then, the government seems to be involved, but they don't really have control over disclosure. That's kind of what it feels like he's saying. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
no,
I think
Sorry,
that's
go on,
exactly
Josh.
what he's saying. I think it's just wrong, though. I think the aliens have showed themselves multiple times. They're constantly, interacting with people. So maybe that's truth on some level, because clearly, based on the evidence, they're not 100% hiding from us right now. That's just not true. Maybe he has old information, because it feels like they're slowly revealing themselves to us, and they've been doing it for a long time. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But since he's so high up in the Israeli military or the space program, I think we have to take it as credible, or at least accept it and entertain it for a moment. But part of me just wants to be like, get out of here. What are you trying to pull here?
Yeah, I have some thoughts on this.
Okay.
Some red flags popped up. The mention of Galactic Federation automatically went right to the old secret space program insiders stuff. That doesn't sit well with me. This whole, we signed an agreement. What does that mean? Did we sit down with aliens and sign a piece of paper? And then what's holding them to that? They're like, okay, human, here's my mark. Now watch as I
Do whatever
walk
I
all over
want,
your
yeah.
stupid agreement. Fuck you. What's holding them to that at all? There's so many crazy things about
I know.
this.
I mean, there's a lot more history to that. I mean, we could go into Eisenhower and this treaty or whatever, and it is true that who's ever been talking about this for years is that they have come here to do some kind of test, but you're right. If they wanted to, but I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now, but I don't think they want to get rid of us. There's a use for us.
He also says that they're doing experiments, and then he also says, but they want our help. It's like, okay, test rats, we're going to do some shit to you, but also you can help us with stuff. What? How does that work?
Yeah.
And then the whole idea, I mean, I don't know about that Eisenhower thing. That doesn't kind of line up for me personally, but I've always... this comes up in something we're talking about later, I guess, is the Jacques Vallée interview that happened recently, where he kind of says, look, as far as he knows, presidents really don't get that level of declassified info. Declassified, that's not the word I'm looking for. What is the word I'm looking for?
Classified.
Yeah, they don't get
classified.
that sort of material. It's they're here, they're in and out, they're, 4 years, maybe 8 years if they're lucky. I don't think that gives them, they don't get the full laydown of what's happening in the universe by all the secret clandestine groups in the government. I think
I agree.
Hold a lot of cards to their chest. But the other thing that kind of I have one other thing that kind of jumped out at me is where it says at the end, this whole book that was written was based on conversations with the professor as recorded by Hagar Yanei, who is a science fiction fantasy author in Israel.
Ooh,
She seems like a great writer, and I don't know whether that casts aspersions on the whole thing. Maybe she's just a great writer and she was the person to put his words to paper. But I thought that was so this is recorded and written down by a sci-fi fantasy author, which was interesting. But that might mean anything. She might.
Well,
just
no,
be a great
I agree with you,
writer,
Matt, because it doesn't make it credible. Because if you were going to try to be credible and really put it out there, you would choose a news journalist. You would choose someone where there wouldn't be any flack back. That does make sense to me. That's a red flag.
Yeah, that was just an odd little piece at the end, and I was like, all right. Yeah, but this whole thing, this just seems
but okay,
way
wait,
too
hold on.
outlandish
Just to counter that,
yeah.
if he really was like, I have to get people to listen to me, he could easily find any journalist that would listen to this and publish it, because this is what's making headlines right now. Like, people don't want to read about how many deaths are happening because of COVID every day. They're going to scan through and they're going to find out, like, somebody says something about aliens. I mean, that's a thing now.
Yeah.
So I think that he probably made a relationship with this person because this person could relate, and they had questions, and then they ended up publishing it.
She's an award-winning author. So it would.
So
she's obviously a great writer.
Argument.
So maybe that's just all that it is. She's just great with words, and so she was the person to put pen to paper on this.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know about this one. And the other thing is too, like, I found in another article that I translated from Yiddish. Is that the Israeli Jewish
Hebrew?
That'll work. Hebrew. So I translated it was like a rundown on the book.
Spanish.
In like but it said in this rundown that Professor Eshed also reviews phenomena. This is part of like the description of the book. So it wasn't all about UFOs in this book. It's like his life is all the amazing stuff that he's done. He really is like an accomplished scientist. But it says also reviews the phenomena that has intrigued humanity in recent decades and presents observations of UFOs and various theories about their essence, purpose, and origin, which in his opinion is probably not from Earth. So I don't even know that he's directly saying. Maybe he's just describing like this is one of the theories that people have. But I guess that is a direct quote from him too, the previous one. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, it is an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Because, I recently worked on something, and I can't talk about it yet, but when I can talk about it, I will. And we can revisit this. I recently worked on something where we got the same message, and it wasn't from, some guy in a space program. So, I can't say what that is.
More. Okay.
But when I can talk about it...
Specifically, what message you mean? Like the same thing the guy's saying, that these aliens are waiting to present themselves to us because we're not ready? It's more about them choosing not to reveal themselves and the government revealing it?
They don't necessarily want to communicate with us. They want to communicate with us when they want to, but they don't want us to find them. Does that make sense?
I just want to say there's an open invitation to all aliens that come on the Cosmic Cantina podcast. We will interview you. We are ready. We can be the mouthpiece for you. I'll say whatever you want. Just, Hold me gently.
Alien fans, reach out to us. Speaking of fans... just aliens. You can only probe Josh and maybe Matt, but I not want to be probed.
Yeah,
so
you have to be Nordic, though. No gray probing, just hot Nordics.
just red hot Nordics. Yeah. All day, every day.
Okay, all right, guys, calm down. Put your pants back on.
Okay.
All right. So, this is kind of a tangent, but I know a lot of you write us and you tell us your stories, and some of them are really interesting. And this is a person who listens to our podcast. His name is Kyle, and he kind of broke down a story that had happened to him. And the story is not going to sound like, this happens to a lot of people when they experience something either supernatural or extraterrestrial. But I'm going to take it into the guise of, maybe it's not the government trying to shut him down. Maybe it is the aliens trying to not have him communicate with them. So let me tell the story. This is a listener. His name is Kyle. I'm going to read what he wrote us because I don't want to say something wrong because it's his story.
Thank you for sharing, Kyle. Really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cheers for reaching out.
And anybody else, if you have cool stories of anything we talk about or anything you want to share with us, you are a part of our journey just as much as we're here to entertain you. Okay.
Well said.
Enough with my plug. All right. Okay, so Kyle. I bought a drone hoping to do my own sort of filmography. Was mostly interested in Native American cosmology and mythology, and since I'm in Colorado right now, I decided to look into weird rock art and petroglyphs. But I wanted to kind of check into ones that not many people know about. Easy enough to pull up stuff from Mesa Verde, etc. So I did a little digging and found out about some stuff at a place called... Oh my God. Matt's going to kill me.
Do it. Do it.
Pinon Canyon?
Oh, Pinion Canyon, yeah.
Pinion Canyon. Oh, it was close. Okay. It's not as bad as Josh.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. No, I've been there.